Hello everyone and welcome to yet another edition of Rockefeller Wrestling Review. My name's James, it's the second Rockefeller Wrestling Review. Now of course there's only one place to start really, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, WWE, the most popular wrestling organisation in the world, has their big show coming up on Sunday, Money in the Bank. Now for me, Money in the Bank is actually my favourite wrestling pay-per-view now. It's the one, certainly WWE, that I look forward to it the most because I feel that's the most where talent is really showcased at its absolute best. I think in recent years I just feel like if you're a wrestling fan, and I don't just mean like a casual fan who sort of come in and out at WrestleMania when the Rock's there and the big part-time stars there, etc. If you want to see actual exciting wrestling, that's the time to watch it. I mean, there's no doubt about it that in recent years it has been the premier wrestling show. Obviously, I don't mean in terms of buy rates, but I mean in terms of excitement. You look, obviously, 2010, that was a good start. A lot of people was unsure of that idea with two Money in the Bank contracts, but thankfully, more was indeed more. Now, 2011, the following year, without doubt, one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. I was watching it the other week, and I was thinking, is that the greatest wrestling pay-per-view of all time? To be fair, I've not actually seen every pay-per-view. I've not seen from Japan or anything. So it's, I'd be in all over my head if I would suggest it was. But I think certainly WWE, or sort of Vince McMahon's wrestling organisation, it's in the top three. Absolutely fantastic. And I think the thing about it was, it embodied everything, certainly myself, would want from a wrestling show. It was exciting, it had the great crowd, things happened that, okay, obviously they weren't really spontaneous, they were planned, but it felt spontaneous. You could suspend your disbelief, and that's what it's about, wrestling. To suspend your disbelief and believe for a moment, this really could happen. I mean, like watching more than anything else, CM Punk versus John Cena, you look at it and you just, every bit, it's just drawing you in because the emotion and think, this result really does matter. And it did. And that's what was so important. Obviously, it doesn't happen once very often. And to be fair, delivering a pay-per-view of that quality is very difficult. I mean, whatever you say about wrestling, and some of us, including myself and Moan, there's no two ways about it. To deliver a pay-per-view of that quality is once in a blue moon because it's without doubt one of the best pay-per-views in North American history. As I've said, I would have it in my top three. So there was no doubt about it. It was fantastic. And then the following year, okay, admittedly, it was a big step down from 2011, but that's not, that's not having a pop at them because 2011 just couldn't be topped. But even so, Money in the Bank 2012, I thought was another terrific event. I thought it was very good. Both Money in the Bank matches I enjoyed. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan was another superb match in the series they had that year. So I think Money in the Bank is a pay-per-view I look forward to the most. Now, obviously this Sunday, a lot will depend, obviously, what happens in SummerSlam. Now, we've heard for several months now that the main event is guaranteed to be Daniel Bryan, John Cena. I mean, to be fair, apparently the Money in the Bank match was main event was going to be Daniel Bryan, John Cena. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but obviously we'll wait and see. Now, I'll start with the WWE title match. I don't like the idea of Mark Henry being in the match. I've never rated the bloke. I've always thought he was bone idle, lacking in personality, and I just couldn't see why he was still there. Obviously, they like the bodies and the big, bad-looking guys, but he wasn't. He's not even slightly menacing. Now, I will give credit where it's due. I'm not a fan of him. I thought he was clumsy, and he just didn't earn his pay. But recently, he has been playing a good heel character. I thought that angle and that Raw with his fake retirement speech was particularly good, because I think he did a great job there of sort of suckering fans in. And obviously it caused good reaction. Well, the crowd seems like anyway, because it was John Cena was on the receiving end. But it was a good way of building up babyface sympathy and a title match, even though I'm sure John Cena will probably get booed out of the building Sunday. But I just don't think the bloke in general deserves the opportunity. I mean, he's in his mid-40s. Okay, now that's not to say that's a bad thing, because look how well the Undertaker's in recent years. Some have even said Shawn Michaels improved of age. But the point being is he's been in the company almost 20 years now, and for most of that, I mean, I can't think of one good match he's had. He's had maybe a couple of okay matches. The bloke's not slightly menacing. He was clumsy, injured a few people, and the fact that he's been there that long is an indictment. I certainly think of the philosophy of the company. But I will be fair. I will give credit where it's due. He has been doing well recently. You know, I'm sure the match will be a bit of a train wreck, mind you, a bit of a demolition derby car crash, and not in a good way. But I have no doubt, I think Cena will win. The way he's been built up, obviously trying to book something for him, I think he'll win. And just fingers crossed that John Cena has a Great Khali type performance where somehow he manages to carry his far inferior opponent to a half decent match. Now, the other match, of course, the other title match is the world title match, which I think Alberto Del Rio will win. I can see AJ or possibly both Big E Langston attacking Ziggler. I think there's more of this to come. It will be stretched out for a few more months yet. I think Ziggler will eventually win back the title. I think AJ will retain her title. I also think as well that Ryback will beat Jericho to rehabilitate him. Curtis Axel will beat The Miz. I have no doubt about that. Now, we go on to the first of two Money in the Bank ladder matches. The world title match. Now, it has to be said it's a bit of an odd one because they're all heels, so the psychology there is a bit off. Nonetheless, I think it'll be a good match. They usually are, and the crowd just responds to the work rate. That's what's great about Money in the Bank. Now, if I was booking it, I think either Cody Rhodes or Damien Sandow should win it. I think they've both got good personality, and I think over time, I see future main events in both of them. I really do. But I think, that's a hard one. I think it's either between Dean Ambrose or Wade Barrett. No, tell a lie. I don't like to say this, but I just have a bad feeling Fandango's going to win it. You know, despite the fact the bloke isn't over and it was only smart fans messing about. But I have a bad feeling he'll win it, or if not, it'll be Dean Ambrose. As for the other one, Daniel Bryan has been hot favourite. I do think he'll win. And he'll main event SummerSlam, obviously co-main event being CM Punk Brock Lesnar. I'm sure RVD will get the biggest pop of the night when he comes out. In my opinion, that should be the main event match. I mean, I'm a big fan of... I do believe WWE title should normally be the main event, but I believe on this occasion, considering it's the number one contender for the title, and it's the main reason for buying a pay-per-view, these Money in the Bank ladder matches, I feel CM Punk Cena accepted. I think it should be the main event. I think Bryan will win, and I'd agree he should. I think Heyman will attack CM Punk and cost him it. And possibly, fingers crossed, a match of the year contender we got. So I do think we are in line for possibly the best WWE pay-per-view of the year for probably the third out of 4 years. I mean, I think 2010 it probably was. 2011 without doubt. 2012, I think I'd probably say Extreme Rules is better, but it was a good pay-per-view nonetheless. And I think this year Payback was good, but I think this can be better. I'm looking forward to watching it. I mean, I might even watch it live at the time because I think it'll be really good. I really enjoy the Money in the Bank pay-per-views. I think the great thing about it is it's a star builder. Admittedly, I've all bit contradicting myself. We've got all-star match, but it's a real wrestling show to me. You know, I don't watch it for the spectacle and the lights and the camera action, the glamorous and all that. I watch it because I want to see good effort and endeavour, exciting wrestling, and hopefully in front of a traditional wrestling city in Philadelphia. Hopefully it will be greeted. So there you have it. I think we're in line for arguably the best pay-per-view. I think it will be better than Payback, and Payback was good. And as I said, I do believe Daniel Bryan will win the Money in the Bank. It wouldn't actually surprise me if it was the main event. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. And obviously set up Daniel Bryan's John Cena at SummerSlam. So that's it for the Rockefeller Wrestling Review Part 2. And next week we'll be back with the Money in the Bank review. And hopefully, as I said, the best pay-per-view of the year. Thank you.